we are again with the powerful, tremendous, energetic, and eternal, immortal Joe Cuba. Joe, we're talking about this lecture performance that you're going to have in the Helen Hayes Theater in Nyack, New York. This will be Tuesday, July the 11th. It's going to benefit the International Salsa Museum. You being the director have been so kind enough to turn over all funds.
We have,
to
right?
have, yeah.
Absolutely,
So
I think it's beautiful. What time is this going to start?
8 p.m.
Okay.
Now, we've discussed already the Oye Como, the tribute.
Right.
The very beginning of the thing will not focus on the Joe Cuba sextet, but it'll actually going to have a tribute to
Tito
Mr.
Puente,
Tito Puente with Oye Como Iba and Ariñañera. Interesting thing, we were also in one of our conversations. I think that all the conversations that I have with you should be taped because there's so much information that I gleaned from them. For example, you were once chatting informally, and you told me something about Ariñañera being, I think it was an Abacuá chant, right?
It is. It comes from Cuba, of course. All the music came from Cuba, and that's what I was told. You know, I don't quote me on it, but I was told that it was an Abacuá, Yañigo type of chant that they had. But it wasn't actually Ariñañara, it was a different type. Arriba, arriba. Iba, arriba, arriba, de camawa, arriba, arriba. And then...
you still remember that this was told to you how many years ago?
Yeah, long time ago.
And you still remember the more or less
because it was told to me by my dear friend Miguelito Valdez, who was
very much into that religion, yeah.
With Chano Pozo and that, you know. And Miguelito told me, when I did the tune, he said, you know, Joe, eso viene de... Ahí, you know, so I said, chévere, you know, because those type of tunes are very catchy, because esas canciones están hechos en la calle, callejeros, como yo era callejero, yo me crié callejero, aprendí callejero on the stoops of New York, and they played, not on stoops, they didn't have stoops there, but they had like their own kind of chairs, solare, lo que sea, y así they created all these tunes, you know.
Now, Joe, the lecture performance will describe in words and music your career since 1954.
Right.
What else have you prepared for that evening?
Well,
and one of my first question is, in 1954, which was a very important year, by the way, Sonora Ponceña was formed in 54.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that, right?
El Cortijo y su Combo with the great Ismael Rivera was formed in 1954.
Oh, really?
The
Great,
Joe Cuba Sextet. Yeah, the reason why this year strikes me is because that was a year that was very important to me. I was born that year.
Wow,
too,
right,
So then,
so we're really stretching it.
Yeah, I say, wow, these guys. So in 54, what was the seed for you to form the...
Well, actually, the seed that formed the group was that we were with the Joe Panama Quintet. There was a group called the Joe Panama Quintet. Joe Panama was the piano player, and then the group broke up because his father felt that he was the talent, and that was it. He was going to go out on his own like a King Cole trio type of thing, and I really wasn't interested in music that much at that time. I wanted to be a lawyer. All my life I wanted to be a lawyer, you know, and so I went back home, and that was the end of it. The quintet broke up, but Roy Rosa, rest in peace, the first bass player with the group, came over and said, listen, his father's walking around talking that, hey, we were nothing, and his son is going to come out with a great group, and that's all I needed was a challenge, you know. And I said, oh yeah, let's see what we can do. So I organized a group, and we went and we kicked his butt, you know, not to use the word ass.
And whatever became of Joe Panama? Did he go to his career catapulted onto what?
It catapulted to la 118. No, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not knocking him. He was a great piano, great guy. And I don't know where he went, but I don't think he accomplished what his father set out for him to do. You know, really.
So then, of course, we're going to get more during your lecture performance. Yeah. But what other things have you prepared? Because you were telling me you had prepared the half of the presentation at least. What else?
Well, I'd like to also explain how a lot of tunes were created. A lot of people feel that tunes are written, but a lot of tunes aren't written. They're created. When you say you create a tune, that means like I did a tune. Do you feel it? I think you heard it. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And we did it in the studio. El Pito was done in the studio completely. It was just created in the studio. I'm gonna say it over there. Or you want me to say it here? I will, so they can get a.
Well, we'd like for them to come down, but remember
okay.
this thing only it holds under 1,000 people.
Yeah, well,
so,
El Pito was created in the studio. I had a theme called "New Country Cornflakes, New Country Corn." Remember that?
No.
So, okay. Anyhow, that was some commercial, and we used to use like "New Country Cornflakes," and people. Then we walk off the stand, and everybody would laugh. And Charlie Palmieri, rest in peace, my ex-musical director, had a theme called "Raga Don Así Se Goza," and he would walk up the stage. So Charlie and I were dear friends. We were always